Well, I know I'll be sitting by myself for a while today. I decided I'd come on and do the career life path readings online. The reason I decided to do it was because I did it all yesterday for you and they were really, really good. And I was going to put them up and then YouTube decided to eat the videos. It was like, okay, an hour and it was nearly an hour and a half of reading. So I thought, no, I can't afford to do that again. I was so disappointed. So I'm going to do them online for you. So what I'll do is I'll pull a few cards. We'll do a little bit of channeling of messages and probably top them off with a bit of a oracle card reading on top of that. So I will timestamp them for you. I just have to remember to put the timestamps down. So I will say hello to you though if you want to come in, because I know a lot of people will listen and not. I know who you are. I know who you are. All right, let's get started. And I'm going to do them in order of they come out. So I keep the cards because that makes sure I don't forget who I'm reading for. So let's go for it. All righty, so we're going to start with Capricorn and we're at 1 minute 30. Okay, Capricorn. Let's see what the universe has got for you. It's hard to get organised when you're working online. All right. 2021. What's happening for career in 2021? I'm just going to pull them at random. I haven't got them all sorted out. We'll just pick a few cards out. And we'll start with 5. And we'll pull out 3 oracle cards. Let's do that at random. 1, 2, 3. Okay, Capricorn. All right, so the first thing I've got coming out is the card of transition. So it looks as though hey, how you going, Lynette? Oh, well, you get Capricorn straight off. How good's that? So we start off with the transition card, the death card. So I strongly feel that this year is a year in review for Capricorn. I really feel that a lot of you are going to start to really think about what you want in the future going forward for the long haul. This isn't just a small change. You're not just adding to what you've got. This is about life review. You know, can I do what I'm doing forever, or do I need to consider how I'm going to move forward? So very much this sort of letting things or allowing things to fall away and embracing something new. Hey, Sarah, how you going? Embracing something completely new. So a year in transition here. Oh, I love this. Look, you got the Fool card. So the Fool card says to me, this is a year for taking chances, taking risks, really sort of throwing caution to the wind, having fun with whatever comes your way. The Fool card does talk about taking a leap of faith, and sometimes we do need to be foolish in that we just do that. I hear people all the time about, I'm scared to do this. I don't want to do that. What happens if? And I think, well, you're never going to find out unless you try. So for all of us, there's hit and miss with things, finding what works, finding what doesn't. And that's what people did when they started businesses off. Even the best of businesses, like your Kentucky Fried Chickens and your McDonald's and things like that, they all started somewhere. So it's a year for taking chances. It's a year for taking risks. It's a year for definitely putting aside any of your worries and fears. So if you were, like you're thinking you can't do it because you don't have the financial backing, or you can't do this because you don't have the time, this is a year for putting all of that aside and really allowing that sort of energy to fall away. It's very much about really just going for it. Going for what your heart wants here, not worrying about what's coming in and what's not. So we do have the Two of Pentacles with the Temperance card coming through here as well. So the Two of Pentacles does sort of talk about decision. It talks about balance. It talks about weighing things up and coming up with some sort of idea on the direction to go. I do feel with the Temperance card, though, getting things into balance for you, these are both cards of balance, and I did pull them from at random. So these are both cards of really sort of understanding which direction to go in. So there is always this feeling of getting your mind, body, soul into some sort of balance here, not allowing something to get carried away. What does this mean for you? It means that when you start to get a business going, or you start going out on your own, or you start to take another job that you haven't done before, that you give yourself the opportunity to not just learn, but to use the skills that you have at the moment. So it may be about allowing yourself to make mistakes, to learn differently, to take things on board, to allow feedback, to review, but very much a time to go into your skills. I just want to see if I can get a feel for you as to what this is. For some of you here, it's definitely about starting your own business up. It's definitely about taking a leap on something that perhaps you've thought about and you haven't really progressed at some stage or another. For some of you, this is about learning something new, but I don't feel you're going back to study. I feel like you're either using skills that you've had before because of the Temperance card. But the Temperance card says things are right. This is the time. So if you want to embark on your own business, if you want to start something new, if you want to create something, then the Temperance card is saying it's time here. It's time to go. All right, let's just have a look at what Oracle cards came through. Oh, how beautiful. Okay, so we got the card of the Tribe, TikTok, and To Be Fair. So what I'm feeling here for you, Capricorn, is this year is a year for finding your tribe. So it's definitely a year of finding where you belong, where you fit. I feel that's where that card is coming through with the transformation here. It's about letting go of things that have not served you now and finding your rightful place here. So for some of you, this will definitely be about, creating your own business or starting something off on your own, drawing people into you that can help you get yourself moving forward. The TikTok card's coming up too. So I really feel, like I said before, this is time. I feel that you've probably held on to an idea for a very long time and it's time to get it going. The clock's ticking. And the card To Be Fair came out too. Now, I always think that, to be fair, it may be in business that you're considering what sort of opportunities you may be giving to others. If you're doing your own business, how can you do it in a way that's fair to them and fair to yourself? How can you make money out of something but still enjoy it? So I feel like for some of you here, it will be very much sort of looking at what sort of products you can provide in your own business and how to best sell your products, how to best advertise. So I feel really strongly, Capricorn, this is a year for you to do business, to open your own business. All right, let's have a look at Virgo. And we're at 8:30. Virgo. Hey, how you going, Cherie? 5. All right, Virgo. Oh, Virgo, Capricorn. See what I mean? I can't get organised. Virgo. All right, Virgo, what's happening for you this year? All right, so we have the Page of Pentacles coming through. So there's a brand new opportunity coming in for you this year. So I feel this is something you weren't expecting here. So it looks as though perhaps someone has earmarked you for something. It could be a promotion. It could definitely be somebody coming out of the blue. I always feel like it's, that headhunting energy. Somebody saying, I want you for my business. I like what you do. I like what you have to offer. We do have the Victory card following that. So this is about getting recognition. Someone's recognizing your talents. If you work in a big organization, it could be somebody from another department popping over and saying, hey, we'd like you to come and work for us. But there's this sort of feeling that you're being recognized for a job well done here. And I feel because of that, you're being noticed. Oh, we've done Capricorn. We're now on Virgo, Cherie. We've only just started. So there's a real strong feeling here that you are being given an opportunity to showcase your talents, is what Spirit is saying here. This is very much for you to stand forward, take a step forward and be noticed in the new year. All right, look at this, because we have the Justice card. Hey, Diane, how you going? So the Justice card is here, which is really what I've been saying, isn't it? You know, it's sort of like, this is your time to shine here, Virgo. Hey, Jeanette, how you going? It's your time to shine, Virgo. So it's your time to get out there and be noticed. And I feel like with the Justice card coming through, there's a very good chance you will. Oh, look at this. So the Queen of Swords is a person who's not scared to stand up for herself. Hey, Moonstone, how you going? Not scared to stand up for herself. This is a person who's assertive, feels comfortable sort of talking about their own skills and talents. I feel like for some of you this year, you may be embarking on a new career or a new opportunity where you get to use your voice. It could be that you are going to move into a place where you are able to express whatever it is you need to express. So it could be you being called upon to do talks with people, public speaking, communications. So if this is where you thought you wanted to go, this is really good. What I love here is you have this King of Pentacles, which says to me there is money for you to make this year. Money for you to bring in, money for you to make. So Virgo, very good year for making money, speaking up, using your voice, and for career progression. Hey, Haley, how you going? Long time no see. Oh, I love this. Okay. So oracle cards I've picked here will Come to the Edge, Loyal Heart, and Time for a Nap. Okay. What I think the universe is saying here, Virgo, is you've got a big year ahead of you. This is going to be lots of transformation, lots of change, and you are going to have to prepare for that. You're going to have to be ready, because this change may mean this year is a lot of work, but it's going to place you for the future. So we have here the Loyal Heart. So I feel like some of you will not be changing the organization you work in. Maybe you're working for a big organization, but you'll be given an opportunity to step up or do something different here. And I feel that's really good for you, because wherever you're working, you probably see your workplace as being very beneficial. But this is about being loyal. Okay, and come to the edge, take the risk, go for it. Because I really feel that you're going to have great opportunities this year to really expand, to break out, to do different things. So you're on your way. All right. Let's move on. Hello, Carla. How you going, my darling? Oh, that's beautiful. Yeah, it's nice, isn't it? A few days off work. I enjoyed the break. I really did. Hey, how you going, Russell? Hiya. All right. Let's see where we're going up to. Okay. I should do this more often so I'm a little bit more organized. I feel a bit clumsy doing it online here. Only because I just feel like I'm not organized properly. All right, let's have a look. So we've next got Scorpio. I didn't know what order these cards had come out in. I've just shuffled them up and just thought I'd do them at random. So Scorpio, you are at 1358. All right. 5 cards at random. I'm just pulling them out of the deck. Scorpio. So what's the year like for you? And we'll do the same with the oracle cards as well. Scorpio. Okay. Oh, you're going places this year, Scorpio. You have the Chariot coming straight out. The Chariot. Hey, Melanie, how you going? The Chariot is a card that talks about forward movement. So for some of you, I feel like perhaps you've been in something for a long time that you've become bored with, or you're looking for new opportunities. I feel that there's this sort of stuckness with this Chariot. And I feel this year for you is going after new things. Something exciting, something that will really float your boat. So this is about going out and grabbing something with both hands, like not holding back, going after your dream this year. All right, so we have the Hermit card coming through here. Wow, major arcanas. Okay, so the Hermit card is a card of taking time out to really have a think about things. So it could be that you're deciding to take time out from one job before you transition into something new, but making sure that you're moving in the right direction. I feel that there's got a lot of hospitality around this sort of energy. So it may be you like being out in the public eye. Maybe you like being amongst people, you know, working with people, but it really feels to me like you're going to take time out to decide where to go. I almost feel if it wasn't for the fact that cruises are a bit unnecessary at the moment, that it's sort of like the energy of wanting to sort of get away and do something like that, go overseas and work, but really sort of embracing this idea of letting the old go because it's boring and I've learned everything I need to learn and I want to do something different. So there's a bit of soul searching here. All right, so we have the Queen of Cups coming up, which does represent Scorpio. So I feel that you're not going to do anything this year, Scorpio, unless it's something you love to do. You want to have something that you can really put your heart into and really invest in. And I don't think really looking at these cards here that you're going to move forward or embrace anything unless it really takes up your heart space. So I feel like you're going to really look for something that, I don't know, fits you like an old pair of jeans, something that feels really good for you here. Okay, and look at this. There is money to be made. So, oh, sorry, spirit animal. Sometimes the notification doesn't come up. I've only done a couple. I've done Capricorns, Virgo. I'm on Scorpio at the moment. So this is very much a year for you to make your place in the world, Scorpio, to really be able to imprint yourself into your work, to really make a name for yourself. And I really feel that this in itself is going to create a lot of money for you. So there's definitely this feeling that you're bringing in plenty of money, you're making your place, but you're doing what makes your heart sing. You're doing what makes your heart feel good or your soul sing. But I don't think that you would, yeah, you're on time. Good one. I don't think you're going to take on anything this year that does not make you feel good about yourself. Okay, oracle cards that came out for you is a leg up. Oh, I love this. Treasure Island and Chop Wood. Beautiful. Sits beautifully with the reading. So first off, with a leg up, I feel that there's possibilities here that people may give you a lead into what you want to do. How, Elizabeth, how are you going? Nice to see you on board. This is about you definitely getting some sort of assistance or some sort of direction. So perhaps somebody's going to give you an idea on how to move forward and how to create the life you want, because you're getting some sort of assistance coming through with this card. So you may get a lead from someone. It may be someone headhunts you, but there's definitely some sort of lead coming up here. You have Treasure Island, and I think that's really good because that's what they were saying. This is a year for making your mark and making money from what you do. So it won't be something you're making money for the sake of making money. It's going to be doing what you love to do and making money. It will be the benefit of that. And then we have Chop Wood, which I feel will be strongly what you'll be doing between your jobs. So it's very much this energy of taking time out to really decide where you're going. And as I said, I think a lot of you may decide to just sort of take a month off, take a couple of months off to really choose the direction you want to go in. Because I don't think, Scorpio, you want to waste time this year. I think you want to make sure you've got something that you've got for the long haul. All right, we'll just give these cards a little bit of a shuffle. I missed you guys. I feel like I've been away forever. All right, so next we have Cancer. And we have Cancer at 1945. All right, picking the oracle cards at random. I'm not taking them off the top. I'm letting Spirit guide this one. And Tarot, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, Cancer, where are you going this year? We have the King of Pentacles coming through. How funny that these are career readings, life path readings, and we've had the King of Pentacles in nearly every one. Hey, how you going, Marsha? There is something about this card. Okay, Cancer. This card is telling me that you're going after the big guns this year. So you're not content to be a pleb anymore. You want to be able to lead others very strongly here. There's very much this feeling of you reaching a point in your career where you're feeling you could do much more, but you're sort of, you don't want to be second to anyone's top anymore. You want to be the top. So this may be deciding to go for promotions or deciding to, take on the energies of the higher level people this year. So you may be deciding to really step into upper management. This is about not allowing anything to stand in your way. Bull in a china shop, this is definitely. All right, yeah, there you go. All right, so this is standing your ground. This is being stubborn. This is, saying I'm not going to give up here. I'm going to go for what I want, and really fighting for that. Being defensive about it a little bit too. I know what I am. I know where I want to go. I know what I deserve. So very much going for something where you have a bit more power this year. You want to have more power in the work you do. All right, so the Temperance card coming through, and she's telling me the time is right for you. The time is right. You have your balance. So you may have been working very, very hard on yourself over the last 12 months, maybe more. But there's definitely this need here to step into leadership, to want to lead, to have a vision, to bring people with you. Very, very much so. Oh, look at this. Oh, my goodness, look. You have the Sun and the Magician here. And I'm feeling with the Temperance card coming through as well, there is this incredible feeling here that you have the power to go after whatever you want this year. You have all the tools you need with this Magician. If you want to lead others, if you want to take others with you on your journey, if you have a vision, this will be the year for getting it off the ground. I feel that there's a lot of joy and happiness coming through, but there's a lot of financial reward as well. So this is very, very much having the power, feeling the power, going after your own joy and happiness, but being able to step up to doing what you want to do. You're being a leader. You're leading others here. Okay, so we have Not For You coming through with the never-ending story and the new life. All right, what I'm feeling. What you've been doing up until now, Cancer, may have served you on your journey. It may have been what you needed to do up until this point, but what you've been doing up until now is no longer fitting you. It's throwing out those old skins, like they just don't fit anymore. You're moving into a new time and you're realizing your personal power and what you have to offer the universe. So it's no longer accepting things as they were. It's about going after new things. I feel like with this never-ending story is that perhaps you have been answering to other people for a very long time. Perhaps you have been allowing people to sort of, ride roughshod over the top of you. And I feel that this year you want things to be different. So you're very much going after these positions where you have more power to create better environments for other people. I don't think it's a particularly selfish energy. I feel like you're really trying to understand how you can make things better for others. Perhaps you have this very deep, compassionate nature and you want to see other people do well. And I feel like strongly that with this new life card, this is about you being able to create something new for yourself while also benefiting other people. And I feel like for some of you, this may be getting into politics. It may be getting into, leading others in terms of helping people build better lives for themselves. You may be going into things like life coaching, business coaching, but there's definitely this energy you want to improve life for other people too. Very, very nice. All right, we'll give them a bit of a shuffle. Oh, how funny. The Chariot bump out at me again. All right, we are going to read for Leo at 2537. It was a beautiful reading. All right, so we're off on Leo now. Let's just pull some cards at random. Beautiful. And we'll pull 3 oracle cards for you, Leo. All right. Where's Leo going this year? All right, so we have the 5 of Wands coming through first. So I feel like with the 5 of Wands is a card of mental conflict, external conflict. So I feel like, Leo, that you may be going into this year a little confused about what you want to do with your work. Now, I feel very strongly here there's a strong pull for you to follow a life dream here. And you are contemplating whether going after your dream or whether you just keep going where you are for the time being. I feel like staying the storm here. But I feel like something's calling out to you, and it's something creative here. You may have been thinking about writing a book. You may be thinking about going after something arty, crafty. So some of you may be following a career that, maybe around photography or art. For some of you, this could be drama, music. But there's a really strong feeling here. You are contemplating bringing some sort of hobby or some sort of interest into the light to see whether you can make a career out of it or not. And I feel like you've been doing this for a while here. So it's very much this energy of, can I make a career out of what I love doing? And I feel there's sort of this feeling here that you may have a duality this year where you keep working, but you're working on bringing some sort of hobby into the limelight as well. Let's see what the other cards say. All right, so we have the Page of Cups coming through. So there's some sort of opportunity. Wow, definitely an opportunity coming through. All right, let's have a look at what we've got here. The Page of Cups for me says that you're going to get an opportunity. This is for your hobby rather than your career. So it may be you're trying to work both of them in together too. So it may be that you're trying to see how you can do your hobby alongside your work. There's a feeling here that somebody's going to be giving you some sort of agreement or contract or opportunity to do what you love best. But there is also this conflict of, where are we going here? Conflict of, can I do both together? Can I do both together? So very much this energy of accepting some sort of agreement. You may be doing, say, for example, you may get a contract to do photography for an organization, but it may not be enough to keep you going work-wise or money-wise, but you know it can go somewhere. So you want to take the opportunity. So I do see you doing that this year. And as I said, weathering the storm a little bit as well. And this is what I see, you see. Look, contract. And I feel that you're going to get something off the ground here that is going to serve you in the future. But for this year, you may be doing a little bit of both, a little bit of, say, working the Sunday markets to get some sort of product off the ground, but also doing your job. So you're going to be doing both this year. Now, I do note that the Three of Swords was at the back too. So I want to talk to the Three of Swords. The Three of Swords often talks about heartbreak and pain. And it can talk about past hurts. And sometimes we are reluctant to try something again if we've been hurt by it before. So I feel like I'm speaking to some Leos out here who may have tried to get perhaps a project off the ground before and it hasn't really worked for them. So, for example, you could be working a full-time job and want to get a YouTube channel going, for example. But there may not be enough in the YouTube channel for you to do at this time. So you may be taking on a job or doing the job you're doing while you're trying to get your YouTube going. But it could have been that you've tried things before and they haven't really worked out that well. And I'm feeling here that this is the time to put this behind you and go for it. And you will this year. And if you've had trouble in past years or you've had trouble with this before, I feel that this year is going to be a year to get this off the ground. I feel like it's going to be a little bit slow and a little bit slow moving, but I feel like in the long run, the money is going to be here and you're going to be able to do what you love, for sure. All right, what oracle cards did you get? Nice. You got the Observer. By the book, just complements the reading, chaos and conflict. Okay, let's do the more negative one first. I always feel out of chaos and conflict there comes organization. There's always a time when you start to feel that although things have perhaps been a little muddled or a little difficult, that you can get them straightened out. It's like pulling a knot out of wool. You will get it eventually. You just have to work out the best way to go about it. So it made my teeth go funny when I said that then, because I used to, with wool, like use my teeth to undo a knot. And when I do that, it just makes me feel it's like light nails on a blackboard. How are you, Tanya? So I feel like there is something here I want to say to you, Leo, because I think even though you've got things wrong in the past or you haven't got them right, maybe is the best way to say it, that I feel this year for you is a time for ironing out the knots. It's a year for you to look back at what you've done previously and be able to do things differently because of those knots, because those things haven't always gone in your direction. There's very much this energy here that you're going to sort through the things that haven't gone well for you before and be able to do them better this year. I do feel with the by the book that perhaps you are trying to see the best ways, because we have Observer here. And I feel like maybe the way you're doing things this year is by having a look at what other people have done, having a look at what you've done yourself and how you can improve your practice through observing others. So, for example, you may be getting online, having a look at people's websites, having a look at what they've done well, looking at the people that have been really successful and seeing what their, I want to say, recipe or what their approach has been to get to where they want to. And this is how you're going to work this year. You're going to work through observing others. You're going to work by reading up, researching, and working out how to move forward in a very different way. And you're going to do it, your hobby or your interests, and see how you can get that off the ground so that you can work that into a full-time career. Nice reading, Leo. All righty. Next, we have the lovely Sagittarius. All right, Saggy, you are at 3336. All right, 5 cards at random. You're a very quiet lot today. You must be watching very intently. I keep looking up to see what the comments are, and everybody's quiet and listening. Listening and learning. All right. And we'll pull out 3. We're only halfway too. No wonder it took me such a long time to do it yesterday, and then to lose it all was so disappointing. Anyway, it's all good now. All right, Sagittarius, what's the year looking like for you? Lovely. King of Wands coming out first. All right. So it's nice to get the King of Wands, because for me, he is the person who gets it right. He's the person who has a vision and goes for it. He knows what he wants. He's a leader. This year, so for me, you know, having this come out says to me that you're going to go after what you want this year. There's no ifs or buts about it. This is a year for you to create, to bring in, to develop whatever it is for you. This is a year for you to go after it with a lot of passion and a lot of resolve. Definitely feeling it, whether you're going into your own business, whether you want to lead others, whether you want to manage your own business, it doesn't matter here. You're going after it. And coupled with the Nine of Pentacles, I'm saying to you, this is going to be a really good year for you to do something on your own. So if this is about you building a business by yourself, this is a year for you to make money. It's about really getting your name on the map. So you may be going after something that is, I want to say, it's almost like money is the focus in the business you're going after. So it could be that you're getting into something like banking, handling other people's money, accountancy, but you're working with money in whatever you're doing this year, very much so. All right, so we have the World card coming in. I love it. All right. I can see where this is going. So it's strongly, whatever you're doing is strongly internet focused this year. You're reaching globally. You're going after something where you can really move around the world with your business. Has something to do with money and have something to do with leadership. Let me just go. So we have the Seven of Wands. Wow. Okay. This is really interesting. I feel really strongly that whatever you're doing here, if it wasn't going into the legal sector, you could be becoming something like an advocate for people who are from groups that have to need to be promoted. So it's like you are going after things for people. There is this really strong feeling here. Let me just go through it again, where you are looking at how can you get work for people who are finding it difficult to get their name out into the public. You may be representing people in like public affairs. You may be working with people's finances to get them out into the world. So you may be promoting other people's businesses here. But whatever you're doing it globally and you're doing it over the internet. So whatever your business is, it's something that you've got a far reach on. But it's standing up for people who've come from other backgrounds, possibly. So you may be standing up for people such as, people who've come through addictions, people who've been through domestic violence. You may be representing people at a legal level here. So you may be advocating for sort of groups of people. But you are definitely getting yourself out there globally. And you're making money. As I said, you could be working with other people's money, investments, investing for people, investing in the globally to promote others. And perhaps others who've come from disadvantaged backgrounds. There you go. The moonstones just jumped in for me. Beautiful. AirPods. Oh, that's beautiful. An assessment tool for a company which has invented it, and it's a global first. There you go. That's what I feel like you're doing this year. It's like you're putting yourself on the map by promoting other groups to become more noticed, or you could even be getting into television or radio here and promoting other people through television, radio, interviewing. But I feel like it has something to do with somebody who's marginalized. So you could be out there sort of standing up or pushing things that have been perhaps not done in the past. You're being a world leader for groups or people who've not been able to get out there before. So maybe this is advertising, promoting other groups. I'll leave you with that. I just want to have a look at what the oracle cards are coming through here. All right, we have blessed. I'll go the distance. Wasn't that funny? And clean it up. Okay. Sagittarius. I feel that this is the reason you're coming up as the King of Wands, is because you are going to get a lot of public recognition with this, whatever it is you're doing, because you've got the blessed card here. So I feel like somehow or another in what you're doing, and I was trying to think of an example before. There you go. Help older adults have less accidents. You're really doing this, to help people who are disadvantaged or marginalized groups, but I feel like it's going to really put you on the map. It's like you're standing, I just keep trying to think of some of the great leaders, like the Mother Teresas and the Gandhis and people who've stepped up for marginalized groups but put themselves on the map. It's like that sort of energy. All right, we have go the distance, and that's why I feel like it's global outreach. You're not limited here. You're going out to the greater community. This is not something that you're doing in your own backyard. This is something you're doing on a global scale. Oh, wow, there you go. Yes, wanting a leadership role in the legal industry. International travels here as well. So it's very, very beautiful. But we do have clean it up coming through here. And I feel like with this cleaning up, that it's got something to do with some of this work you're doing. So I feel like this is sort of cleaning out the old and going after the new. It's about cleaning up people's ideas of how things should be. It's about moving things aside to create opportunity for people who have difficulty getting themselves out into the world. Whatever this is here, you're moving aside old views, old ways of doing things. It's very innovative. And I would say if it's legal, if it's a legal thing you're doing, that would make a whole lot of sense for me, because it's like you're cutting out the old ways of thinking about things and implementing really very different ideas. And I guess that's why they've sort of shown me like Gandhi and Mother Teresa, because it's like you're pushing aside old values here. And I think that's why the clean it up card's coming through. All right, let's move on to the next one. That was a very powerful one for Sagittarius. Nice, I like it. All right, we have Gemini coming through at 42. Gemini at 4218. All right. Okay. I'm pulling the cards at random. You can't see it because I don't have the camera doesn't go down that low, which is probably a good thing. All right. Yeah, it was really, really incredible. Okay, Gemini. Let's talk about this. The towers come out first. Okay, let me just get into your energy. I'm a little bit sort of hyped by the Sagittarius stuff then. I have a Sagittarius stellium, which is pretty incredible to hear that. Okay. So Gemini, this is a year of change for you. This is a year of you looking at what you've been doing up until now and has it really served you? Because the universe is saying you need to make big changes this year. You need to make room for new things. This is not about sitting back and letting the world go by. This is about grabbing the bull by the horns and going for it. Because you are this year making changes, not just in your life, but you're making changes in yourself. So definitely a year, and you may find, Gemini, this year, maybe you trialing several things to really find where your energy lies. You may be getting back into the workforce for some of you. Maybe you've been out of the workforce for a while. If you've been in part-time work, you may be looking at something more full-time. You may be going after a career this year rather than just a job. So there is definitely this energy here of change. But I feel like it's sort of not change once. This feels like a lot of change. It feels like ripples. So it may be you start off the beginning of the year with one thing, and by the end of the year, you may be in something completely different. All right. Balance. The Two of Pentacles talks about tossing up between two things, and I get this greatly here because I feel like there's this whole tossing up between the practical, the material, and also what your heart wants or your soul wants. So there's like this energy of trying to get something going here that makes you feel really good that you could get paid enough for. So it might be that you really like a job, say, for example, where you're serving coffee for people in a cafe, but maybe it's not going to make you the money you want. But then in order to get the money you want, you have to go after something where you've got to retrain. And I feel like these are the sort of things that are going to keep making you feel like you need the change. So there's almost like this, like a frog hopping on a pond on the lily leaves, like you're hopping around trying to find what fits best. And you might find something that pays well, but then you find that, maybe it's going to take you 4 years to get there and you're not really sure you want to spend the time. So you're trying to balance out here. What makes me feel good? What can I make money out of? And how can I move forward? Stability. So for some of you, this may be getting into spiritual work. For some of you, you may be starting to consider whether you can do something that's more in line with your spirituality. Maybe you're considering whether you can get a tarot business off the ground, but how do you do that? Maybe you start off with the tarot business, maybe you then do something else and then something else, and maybe at the end of it you end up with something that will serve you financially but also satisfy your soul. But whatever it is here, you're looking for the stability in the long run, the stability of knowing you're doing what makes you feel good, but also getting the financial rewards for it. Again, really knowing how to love what you do. There is definitely this feeling here that you're not going to do anything that doesn't really make you feel good. I actually really feel like you already have something in mind, but I feel, like if this was, say, for example, serving the public, serving the community, welfare work, then is that going to bring you in the money that you want in the long run? And maybe then you're thinking, well, if I want to do welfare work, I could start off with that, but at the end of the year, get myself some sort of qualification in community services or disabilities that will get me to that point. Because next year or the year after, I want to go for a psychology degree and I want to be able to serve people through counseling. So it's something like a long-term plan that's going to make a lot of change for you. Yeah, I get this. A lot of research, a lot of putting effort into what can I make work for me in the long haul. So I feel like, Gemini, this is a year for lots of change, and it's stepping stones, it's little steps, it's going after what you want, but stepping along the way. Is this what I want to do? If it is, then maybe I can get there in 5 years, but maybe for this year I'll take the small stepping stone. Because I feel like your long-term planning here, your long-term planning, and you are breaking down some old way of seeing things. So maybe you've never wanted to study before, but now you're seeing that you have to study to get to where you want to get to. All right, let's have a look at your oracle cards. All right, so we have flexible. There you go. With serendipity. Oh, I like it. And building blocks. I love it. All right, okay. I don't know how the universe does it, but they do. And they do it so fabulously well. So this year is a year for flexibility, Gemini. It's a year for you to be open. It's a year for you to take action, but also a year for you to just go with the flow, with the flexibility. Hey, Linda, how you going? So this is about being flexible with the way you approach things. Sometimes we can't do this until we've done this. It's like building a house. You can't go in and put the roof in first. There has to be foundations. There has to be walls. All of those things have to happen before the roof goes on. And that is where you're being flexible. You're knowing that this year you're building for something more. And we have building blocks. So when I was talking about how to do stepping stones, Gemini, this is your year. It will be a year for working out how to do that. How can I move through what I want to do and just do a little bit, gradually working towards my greater goal? because eventually I want to be a psychiatrist or a psychologist, but I may have to start with this other work first. But I do love the fact that you've got serendipity here, because that's how it's feeling to me. Like, you know that there's a bigger picture and things will fall into place as you're going. So it's like you're willing to accept that it's going to take time to reach your goals, and you're willing to roll with that. And because of that, things will come to you almost out of the blue. They will come easily because you are accepting it needs to come in stages. It needs to be these building blocks. You need to be flexible. All right. Oh, thanks, Emily. Lovely to see you on board. Oh, she's a delight, that child. She's just beautiful. She's really beautiful. See if I can get a picture of her up. They're all delightful, all my grandchildren, but it's just beautiful. She's so tiny, and you forget how tiny and how small children are when they're born. All right, we have now Aquarius at 5046. Beautiful. Aquarius. 5 tarots at random. I can't get over how quiet you lot are. And 3 oracle cards at random. All right. Aquarius, what's going on for you? Somebody else had this out front. Can't remember who it was now, but you guys might remember. Okay. Yes, my Venus is in Aquarius too. All right. Whenever I see this card, I always think this is like conflict, mental conflict. It can be external conflict. It could be that you're fighting with others. There could be this need for you to move on from a workplace because you're not getting along with other people. But I only think that's for some of you here, that maybe you're finding you've got conflict at work and it's time to move on. But I feel like this is, what am I going to do next? What do I want to do? I get this energy of, I've always done this and I don't know how else I've had people say that to me. I've always worked in cafes. It's all I know. Really? Then you don't do the cleaning. You don't work with money. You don't use budgets. You don't speak to people. You need to break down what you are doing. Yeah, I did Cancer a little bit earlier, but you can go back and watch it, Linda. It was a nice reading for Cancer. And I feel that this is when you've got to that point where you're thinking, I can't do anything else. Thanks, spirit animal. I can't do anything else because this is all I know. And I say to people, hang on a moment. What you need to do is, you don't look at your job as being a coffee maker in a cafe. You look at your job and you break it down. What do you do in that job? What sort of experiences have you had? How do you work with people? So you've got public relations, you've got financial support, you've done budgeting, you may have done rostering. Don't just look at it as, I'm only a cafe worker. Like, really? That's very, very sad for you if that's all you think you are. So I feel like this is where you're coming from here, Aquarius. It's almost this energy of, I don't know what to do because this is what I've always done. It's not enough anymore. Okay, so we have the Lovers card coming through here. So this is very much a card of choice. It's about choosing. Do you stay with the tried and true, or do you move on to something new here? Because you're conflicted as to what you can do and how you can do it. So what are you going to do? So I feel like you're starting to think about it. So Aquarius, you may be going into this year thinking about how can you change from what you're doing into the next thing. Right, so we have here the card of the Devil, Capricorn. So maybe they're asking you to think more like a Capricorn. Maybe you're being asked to think more practically and getting out of the thinking thing and moving into more grounded thinking here. But it could also be, let me just see what else is here. Wow, look at this. It could also be, as I said, if you think of the Capricorn way, Capricorns love to make lists. They like to break things down. They like to see things logical, strategic. They like to see things all written out and worked through. It's our favorite way of doing things. Everything needs a list. Everything needs a list. So there is very much this energy of you're not tied to what you've been doing. You're not tied to the work you've been doing. You can free yourself up and you can use your skills in a very different way, but you just have to be clever about how you do it. So if you've always been a cafe worker and worked in a cafe, then have a look at the skills you have there and be able to apply those skills to other things. If you're really good at rostering, organizing people, then maybe you'd be a really good coordinator. So maybe you need to look at how can I use those skills in other jobs and have a look at how can you, I want to say, diversify your skills. How can you use your skills in a different way? And this is what you're looking at. You're looking at not being limited in the way you see things, how to really expand how you see things this year. So if it's looking at that, maybe you could do, budgeting on there you go. No, we're all like that. I'm just thinking there's a song in there, isn't there? Checking things off. So I feel like this year you may be learning how to balance out things, how to look at things differently, how to apply your skills in a different way. I don't think that you're going to make great changes, Aquarius. There you go, Capricorn Venus, there you go. I feel like really strongly you're looking at how can you apply your skills to something new here. Let me just sort of get into this energy a little bit more. I really feel like it's like this energy of I'm really, really good with people. All the time I do my job in the cafe, and I'm only using that as an example because I've had that said to me. When I'm working in the cafe, I'm exceptionally good with people. And maybe that's what I like best about my job. Maybe I like making the coffee, maybe I like working with the money and cleaning up afterwards, but really my job is mostly appealing for me because I like working with people. So then you start to expand that a little bit more. Now, I think that you could go into any retail industry once you've worked in one. Your skills are very transferable. But I feel like here, this is not about staying in the same industry. It's like you want to break into another industry, but you want to do it with the skills you already have. I don't see you looking for other alternatives here. I don't see you looking for how to expand your knowledge. I don't see you going in to see how you can learn more. This is about, I like doing what I'm doing, but I want to do something slightly different. So what aspects of my job can I apply to other jobs? So I feel like it's something to do with the way you work with people, the service you have, the way you serve people. So I feel like you may move into another industry and you may move into a completely different job, but I feel that you're using the same skills here. And this year may be a year of just staying with what you're currently doing, but making it more enjoyable for yourself. Like really starting to think about how can I expand this? Maybe I can do different things at my job to make my job more enjoyable. So maybe you could do things like, looking for additional responsibilities, but I don't see you moving far from where you are or what you're doing. So very much a year for being able to find out how to make things more attractive for yourself. All right, so we have the card of the tribe. We have the never-ending story. And we have a change in the wind. So I feel like change is coming for you here, Aquarius. And I feel very strongly when I've got the tribe card that you really like where you are and what you're doing. I feel like you like the people you work with. You like the people that you're looking after. I think it's very important for you to feel really good where you are. And I feel like for many of you, you're where you want to be. But it's about changing the game up. It's about this never-ending story, same thing every day, over and over and over. And it's about you understanding that by bringing change into the environment, you can change your job completely. So you may decide, if you're working in a cafe, to maybe have theme days. You may decide, every week to have a different coffee on special, or, to have things that people can do when they come in. You might put puzzle books on the table. But you're looking for what here you can change with what you're doing to make it better, to make it more enjoyable. So whatever it is, you probably will stay doing the same or similar things, but looking at how you can make it better for yourself. All right, moving on. All right, we have Libra at 1 minute 36. All right, Libra, Libra, Libra. Let's pull you some cards at random here. I'm doing this and I'm thinking, is somebody thinking of being a tattooist? It's immediately what I thought of when I brought out Libra. Okay. Alrighty. Something to do with art. Strongly coming through, Libra. All right. I have been seeing this card so much lately. This Seven of Wands. It seems to be really dominant in the readings. The Seven of Wands is a card that talks of standing your ground, being stubborn, standing up for what you believe in, somewhat being defiant or defensive about something. Okay, all right. I feel like there's something this year coming, Libra, that you want to do that's really different. I feel really strongly here. It's like you don't want to keep doing the same thing over and over. So for you, this year is going to be a year to change completely what you were doing. Hey, Shell, how are you going? There is this feeling here that you are going to throw caution to the wind and go after something that you've never done before. Because there's great celebration here. Great celebration. There is movement forward. And I feel like something here is taking you in a new direction completely to what you've done before. So we have here the Nine of Wands. See, yeah, I feel like whatever you're doing at the moment here, there's this sort of either something repeating, some sort of pattern repeating. But when the Nine of Wands comes around, it talks about, it's the card of the wounded warrior. It talks about doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. And I feel like here, even though you are doing what you're doing, there's a great feeling here that you want change. You want change, and you're going to make change in the following year. All right, so we have here, look at this. Moving away from what you're doing here with this Six of Swords. Knowing that you've got all the lessons you can where you are. There's nothing new to learn here. And when I see the Queen of Pentacles, that says to me there is some sort of training, studying, some sort of work here that is calling you forward. Oh, there you go. Art and tattoos. Beautiful. Beautiful. Thanks, Moonstone. But there's a very, they're completely different to what you've done before. This is going to, within the legal arena. There is something you've got. Hey, Maria, how are you going? There is something here that you want to do that's completely different to what you've done before. So I feel like whatever you've been doing here, especially with this Seven of Wands and then this Nine of Wands, it's become old hat to you. It's like you've learned everything that you need to, you've already done everything you need to do. This is complete change. So what do I see here coming through? There is definitely some training or studying. You may have to go back and do training or studying to get yourself on this new journey without any doubt whatsoever. I don't think you can change completely for what you want to do without really doing some learning here. It doesn't mean you haven't got the skills, because we're seeing the skills and lessons here. Yeah, we did Virgo early, Emily. You'll get to have a look at them again. So I feel that whatever it is here, you've learned a lot in what you're doing, but you've learned as much as you can because you're moving on here. So it's like, hey, Jane, how you going? It's like you have fully done as much as you can and you need to do something new. Now, I really feel what is coming through for me here, very much so, is moving into areas where I feel that you could be doing things like naturopathy, healing. This is very much healing here. Serving others is coming across very, very strongly as well. But there is creation here. There is art and creation. So for some of you, like I said, I strongly feel that you may be, designing things, or maybe you're going into even creating clothing. But this is going to be a complete turnaround from what you currently do. You're flipping the script. Hey, Shirley, how you going? You're flipping the script completely this year, Libra. So if you've been doing something where, I don't know, you've been working in a restaurant or a cafe, this year you're going to be designing and creating new things. And I feel like for some of you, this is about becoming a healer and healing others. And whether you're healing through your voice, or whether you're healing through your hands, or healing through helping other people, it's still healing. Oh, you're very welcome, Linda. Oh, there you go. Beautiful. Look what Chris just said. Yes, Libra here was in restaurants, now writing a children's books on bullies and gay kids. See, this is what I'm saying. For you, Libra, it's like completely flipping the script this year. Let's see what your oracle cards say. All right, we have the card of blessed. We have the card of here and now, and we have the card of building blocks. So I feel this year you will be going after something that you really want to do. Like I said, I feel like for some of you it's art, it's creativity. For others of you, I do see you writing books. I do see you doing things for people, to serve people, but you're doing it through what you know best. So you're blessed here. And I feel like that is because you're getting the opportunity to do something that you can put your heart into. We have the card of here and now. So I feel really strongly that even though you have to stick with what you're currently doing, you're still going to plan to change things around for yourself. This is about moving from the here and now with building blocks. So being able to build something for yourself that you love to do. If you can't work it out, like I said, break it down. Break it down. Have a look at the aspects of your job that you really like to do. I mean, if you're doing something where you're working with people and you want to serve people, maybe being a counselor is something that you may move towards. I feel like for some of you, you may move from something like, I don't know, working for a school, being a teacher, to becoming a cook. I feel like whatever it is, it's a complete flip for you this year. All right, shuffling the cards. Next up, Pisces, and we have 108. Ah, 1 minute and 36 seconds. Okay, that's interesting. Have I done something strange there? 1 minute 08. Yeah, 1 minute. Radio. No, I haven't. Maybe I need to flip the script. All right, Pisces coming through. Pisces. Oh, you're welcome, Elizabeth. This is over the next year. This is over the next year. So this reading is over the next 12 months. So for some of you, you may do some of these things very early in the year, and for others of you, it may take the year for you to get to where you want to be. All right, 5 tarot cards at random. Thanks, Spirit. All right, Pisces, energy's coming through for you. I have the 4 of Cups. So maybe this year is a year for you where you are finding what makes you tick. Because I feel like there's a sort of sense of being dissatisfied with things. I've just had someone shake my chair. I love it when they do that. This is a year for you to have greater insight here into what you want. So maybe you're not going to make big changes this year. Maybe this is just a year of really thinking about what you want to do in the future. I feel like some of you, like what's coming through here is something to do with water. So I feel like really strongly, isn't that funny, Pisces? But I feel really strongly that you want to be more connected to water. So some of you may be starting to study perhaps underwater life, fish, maybe cooking fish in a restaurant. But there's something to do with the ocean coming through here very, very strongly. So maybe you need to get closer to water. Same card came through last time, second. That'll be really interesting. No, they're different. All right, so we have here the card of celebration. So I feel like maybe you want to start up some sort of business with family or friends this year. So maybe you're starting to look at what can I do in the future? Maybe you're looking at with your family working some sort of business arrangement or deal with friends or family here. Okay, 2 of Swords coming through. There is a really big decision. Oh, wow, look at this, father figure. So some of you are going to go into business with somebody you've got around you here because there's the card of recognition and victory here. And oh, look, I have the ocean. All right, so what I'm seeing here for you, Pisces, this year is a year of really looking at doing something with family or friends, creating with someone else. This is not on your own here. This is creating with someone who has a lot of knowledge and a lot of experience. I feel really strongly it's got something to do with either the ocean, water, maybe you're thinking of a swimming pool business. Maybe you're doing, getting a group of people together to do deep sea fishing. But there's something here that you want to do that's more closely connected to the water. Maybe you're putting your money into a swimming school. Maybe you want to teach other people to swim. But there is something here that says you're going to become more connected to your source. I can see a million things coming through now. This is about you really getting back to nature. This is about you really connecting with the earth energy. But I don't think you're doing things alone this year. A lot of you are going to be creating with others, creating with family, creating with friends. This is something that you feel very strongly about. There seems to be decisions that need to be made here. So maybe you're having roundtable discussions with a group of people on how to move forward, how to create something that you want to create. So maybe your thoughts and ideas on your life path is to do something environmental. Maybe you're getting people together to clean up swimming areas or to work in some sort of environmental area here. Because there's legal stuff coming through with this as well. So maybe you're doing something to represent communities and cleaning up communities. I see community gardens. I see water spots, lakes. And maybe it's as simple as, having a boat building business. but it's something that's connecting you back to your source, back to the water, back to the earth. And there's a great deal of celebration in doing this. But you're feeling at the moment very disconnected from this source. You're feeling disconnected from what really serves you here. So maybe you're feeling that you need to get back to something here in terms of the environment. Maybe it has something to do with forestry as well. But that's what you're doing this year. You're looking at, how can I connect to the environment more? How can I bring the environment into my work? Maybe you're going to study something here in terms of making the world a better place. Maybe getting into recycling, looking at how to recycle. I'll leave that one with you. All right, oracle cards coming through are why? Soulmates, there you go, working with someone. Blessed. That's come up a few times. All right, so first off, let's look at the question why. I always think that it's really good to ask this question. You know, why do I want to do what I do? Why am I going in that direction? And I feel like really strongly, as I said here, this is about you connecting back to something, connecting back to the earth. Some sort of journeying required here. So maybe you're doing some sort of excavating, or, you know, looking at fossils, dinosaurs, something along. You may be looking at trying to do something here, but you're doing it with somebody else. That's why we have the card of soulmates coming through. Hey Tina, how you going? This is why the soulmates card is coming through. So it's something you're going to do with others. This is not something you're doing alone here. So a lot of you going into next year thinking, how can I connect to others? How can I do what I want to do with this blessed card? How can I give back to the environment, the world I live in, by connecting to it? So I'll leave you with that one. Beautiful reading. All righty. Hey Laurie, how you going? All right, we've come to Aries and we have 1 minute 16. Oh, you're welcome. It's but beautiful. I did this yesterday. It was absolutely beautiful. So I will do it again. All right, so we have Aries coming through. So I'll pick 5 cards at random for Aries. Happy holidays to you too, Laurie. It's nice to see you on board. All right, Aries. Do we have any Aries in the room? All right, let's see what's going on for you. All right, interesting. So we have the devil energy coming through here for you. The devil energy is sort of the energy of being, maybe you've been in something for a long while that you are feeling doesn't serve you anymore. Because sometimes this card can represent the ego, and a lot of us end up in careers purely because we feel like maybe we've had family pressure. Maybe we've always been told that that's what we need to do. So we sort of get ourselves into careers that really we've got into purely because other people have told us it's what we're going to be good at or who we are. And you may have fallen into a career here. You may have fallen into a way of working that maybe isn't where you need to be, but you can feel that here. You know it's not quite where you need to be, but maybe you haven't quite found your space yet, your place. Maybe you haven't quite found where you want to be. So this year may be a year of really understanding how you've become shackled to something that maybe is no longer serving you. And how do you move on from that to do what you really want to do? So I feel like this is why this card is coming in for you. This is definitely about being dissatisfied with what you're doing. definitely here with this Three of Swords. I think it's got to a point where you're actually on burnout. You're getting to the point here where it really is no longer in any way, shape, or form satisfying you. But there is forward movement here. There is travel. Maybe you're moving from a job that's kept you very, very sort of still into moving into something that's going to allow you to move around a lot more. So maybe you've been doing a job where you've been stuck inside quite a lot, and you're now getting the opportunity to be more free. And maybe that's what you want. So you may be taking up a job this year that will allow you to travel, allow you to go to different places, to see different places. This could be internationally, or it could be just, doing sales and moving into different areas. But I feel like this is what you're needing. You're needing to break out here. You're sort of limiting yourself on where you are. Now, sometimes we do that too. We tend to sort of think ourselves as being small. And I think that for you, Aries, this is a year of really opening yourself up to how big you actually are. So maybe you've been doing something and only servicing a small group of people, but maybe this year you're going to be branching out to much larger groups, because there's definitely movement forward here. And we do have the Justice card coming through, and we have Temperance behind that too. So this is your year. This is your year for branching out and doing different things. So for some of you, you may be moving into legal professions here, but you also may be scouting the community and traveling in your work. So maybe you're deciding here to just do something that takes you into other areas, maybe to the wider globe. But there is some sort of justice coming through here. Let's see what else is coming through for you. A lot of major arcanas with this particular one. We have 4 major arcanas here. How awesome is that? Big year for you, Aries. It's sort of like this energy of doing something, like I said at the beginning, where you haven't really been getting back what you've been putting in. So maybe you're doing a job where you are doing a lot of work for very little return. And I don't think you're going to be doing that anymore, because this job has got you into this sort of feeling that you feel tied to it and unable to escape. But I don't think that's how it is. I just think you've got to this point of like burnout, of really sort of being over it. So for me, this sort of energy is about you getting out there, doing something far more. I feel that this could be, getting out, advertising, sales, getting yourself out into the public eye, doing something that sort of really satisfies you here. For some of you, it is about legal work. For others of you, it may be to do with traveling. You may be getting a job where you actually travel. News reporting. Maybe you're going to do something like blogging, but going places. Maybe you're going to go around testing new businesses, restaurants, reporting back to other members of the public. Researching. I feel really strongly here with this transport card that you could be getting into something to do with transportation. Maybe you're going to work for airlines, or going to work for companies which have cars, vehicles. Hey, Mary, how you going? But it's definitely about moving out of your comfort zone this year and doing things on a much grander scale. Not being limited by your own beliefs anymore. Your own beliefs might be that you can't go anywhere or do anything. And I know it's particularly difficult at the moment to do something like this, but I don't think with this sort of energy of legal justice that you're going to be held down anymore. So whatever you're doing here, you are branching out to the wider world, and you're branching out to a greater group of people. And maybe it could be something like doing door-to-door nursing rather than doing nursing in a hospital. But whatever this is here, you are moving into the greater community, and you are bringing your ideas and your prospects back to share with others. So you could be doing that via the internet. A pilot in training and a Saggy. Well, maybe it's about being a pilot too, if you're doing something that gives you the opportunity to travel. How are you, Pamela? All right, so we have here higher power, regeneration. There you go. Wow, and time for a nap. Okay, all right. So Aries, I feel like the universe is saying you need to step back from what you're doing at the moment and ask yourself, is it where you want to be? Are you missing something? Are you settling for something that is not right for you? Are you doing things on a very small scale when you could be doing them on a very large scale? Are you limiting yourself? Are you making yourself small? Because they're asking you here to take time out to think about that. But what I do love here is these two. So I feel like first off with regeneration. So maybe it is about doing the same thing, but maybe it's about reaching out further. So if you're working in like I said, at home, and that is really starting to get to you, maybe you need to start thinking, how can I apply my skills on a bigger scale? Hey, happy holidays, Elizabeth. Definitely regeneration. So maybe it's doing the same thing, but just reaching different people. Maybe it's like, I don't know, selling, products to your neighbors and moving into some sort of global product distribution. But you're going big here. You're not staying small anymore. It's like letting the universe know that you are sort of too confined where you are. Whatever it is you want to do, you're reaching out for something bigger. And I feel like with this higher power and getting all those major arcanas in the tarot, that there is something driving you from a much higher force. So maybe what you're doing is going to be done on a grander scale because it's something really that you need to be doing in terms of what the universe is asking of you. Because I feel like you have the universe behind you. Very much so. All right. And we have Taurus. 1:27. There you go. That's almost exactly the same time as it was yesterday when I was doing the reading, and YouTube ate it. It really did eat it. I went to upload it and it said, your video is no good. And that was it. It went. There was nothing. No skerrick, no little bit, no video, whole lot eaten. An hour and 20 something minutes. So you can see I've taken an hour and a half today. Welcome. Okay, so we have now Taurus. You are the lucky last Taurus. Do we have any Tauruses in the room? Or Taurians, I should be saying. Do we have any Taurians in the room? Let's see what's going on for you. Hey, Stephanie, how you going? Okay. Do you know, I get to the end of this and I finally got myself organised. How gorgeous is that? And we're finished. An hour and a half. All right. Venus in Taurus. Taurus with Laurie. Okay. Let's have a look and see what's going on for Taurus. Oh, the magician. So Taurus, I want to say to you, this year you can do anything you like. You have everything available to you to do whatever you want this year. You have all of the tools. Now, this is much as I was saying before, that sometimes we think when we're doing a particular job that we only have one skill, but we forget. And this is due to our confidence. And we say to people, well, I don't know what else to do. This is all I know, because our confidence doesn't allow us to understand all the things we need to do. Not everybody can serve a good coffee in a cafe. Not everybody can work with people. Not everybody can do the things that other people can. We all have a different set of skills, but it's about recognizing those skills. And when the magician comes through, it tells you, you have all the tools you need to do whatever you need to do. You just have to recognize those. Don't play them down. That's what I said. It's sort of like, I remember people saying to me years ago, long before I got into management, something about budgeting. And I remember saying, I don't really understand what budgeting is. I don't know what it's about. And I remember this person saying to me, do you not budget for your household? Do you not budget how much to spend on groceries or electricity or whatever else? And I thought, you know what? It's so true. And then, of course, I went into working with multi-million-dollar budgets, because I felt like in the end, it didn't matter if I had $100,000 or whether I had 5.5 million. At the end of the day, budgeting's budgeting. As long as you have the skills, you can apply them in different ways. And this is what the magician is telling us here. You have all the skills, all the tools you need to do whatever you need to do. Yes, you may not be able to become a doctor straight away. You may still have to work to become a doctor, but it doesn't mean you don't have the skills to become a doctor. Wow, look at this, the Judgment card. So this year is the year for throwing yourself into whatever you want to, Taurus. Very much so. It's a year for rebirthing yourself, for really coming up with something new and going for it. Beautiful energy coming through. Look at this, 10 of Cups. We haven't seen cards like this all for the whole time. So you have an opportunity here to throw yourself into something, possibly something you wanted to do a long time ago that perhaps you didn't go for with this Judgment card. So maybe when you were young, you wanted to be an astronaut and someone said to you, you'll never be an astronaut. But the cards here are saying, actually, you could be an astronaut if that's what you want, because you have everything you need to become an astronaut. You just have to want to go for it. So I really feel like you're rebirthing some old idea here, or some way of doing things, because you've got the 10 of Cups. Holy dooly, look at this. So you have the Fool card here. You have the universe's permission to just go for this. Go for it. Do whatever you want to do. All right, let's have a look at what it is. I feel like for some of you, this is traveling too. There's a very strong travel component with this one as well. Okay. So there's definitely creation here with the Magician. This is about being able to perform. I always think it's like the card of the alchemist. So maybe it's something to do with chemistry. Maybe it's something to do with chemicals. Maybe you want to do something where you create something from something. So recycling. Maybe you're going to want to be a hairdresser, clothes maker, because you're making something from something else here with this alchemy. So being able to make something, create something, bring something into being. Whatever this is here, you've been thinking about this, or you've had thoughts about this in the past. This is teaching. So for some of you, this is moving into a teaching aspect of your job rather than doing. So maybe you're getting to a point where you don't want to do what you're doing anymore, and you're thinking, could I teach this? Could I teach this online? Because whatever this is here, you're going to do a lot with it. Look at this 10 of Cups, beautiful energy. So somehow or another, it's going to bring you a lot of happiness here, a lot of joy. The Fool card is here. And this is why I'm getting sort of this feeling of traveling again. So maybe it's something you can get into, but you have to travel to get this done. Maybe it's traveling to learn, or traveling to learn how to do something, or to educate yourself on something. There's an opportunity coming in for you here, I feel. There's an opportunity coming your way that's going to give you that little bit of a bump start to get you going. Definitely this feeling here of somebody, being able to open you up to something here. So somebody feels like they're going to come in and give you an opportunity to move in a different direction. And maybe they've done it themselves. Maybe they've done it themselves and they see potential in you. So for some of you here, you're creating something completely different. Perhaps something that you've wanted to do before. Very interesting energy. Let's have a look at the oracle cards. I may get some more information. Unfinished symphony. Observer. And we have imagine. So I really feel like some of you have already either not followed something that your heart wanted to do a long time ago, or because we have the unfinished symphony here. So this could mean you actually started doing something a long time ago but never went with it. For some of you, this could be a musical career. When I say creation, maybe for some of you, this is about music, writing stage shows, something to do with music coming through here. But I feel very strongly that this unfinished symphony here is something you either started or thought of, especially with the Imagine card. So I feel like somehow or another you've thought about this before, and you may have, with the Observer card, seen somebody else doing something that you've thought, I really would like to do that. I really want to create. I really imagine, or I really see myself doing that. But it's finding what exactly it is here with this observer. So you may be going out trying to look at other people doing things to see whether it really appeals to you here. But I feel like because it's arts, movies, music, I feel like somehow or another you're creating something here that you wanted to do a long time ago but never actually got into. But with the unfinished symphony, I'm feeling that maybe some of you actually started something but didn't continue. All right, well, I will leave you with that. Oh, I was going to show you a picture of the baby before I go. Okay. Ooh. Baby, baby, baby. Oh, I thought I had, hang on a second. I thought I had another picture here. So I'm going to see if I can find this other picture. I don't know which one's cuter now. I bought her a Christmas outfit. Although she looks like Mr. Burns in this picture. Twiddling the fingers. She has the most beautiful hands. Cute, isn't she? Gorgeous child. That's Tilly. All right, everyone. I have to go. I have to go and do some shopping. I don't love shopping. Oh, you're very welcome. Thank you. Thank you. You can go back and watch them. Hopefully it won't take too long for the videos to go up. Please make sure you give me a thumbs up for the readings, and I will see you later on. I'll be on tomorrow. I'm going to do super chats tomorrow. So if you want to come on and get a little bit of a reading, I think I'm up for super chats tomorrow. I missed out just before Christmas. But you're very welcome. It has been so much fun. I've really enjoyed it. I'll have to do it more often. All right, I will. Thank you. Let's do this again. Great idea. Thanks, guys. Bye.